Hope you are doing well in the circuit breaker. Hi, I'm Sky and hope you are having a good time with your families, having fun family time and doing some fun games. Hi everyone.
Can't wait to see you in church.
Hey Sprouts, Fiona here. How are you this week? I hope you are having an awesome week. I hope you had a great week last week, and I know you're going to have an excellent week this coming week. We have some fantastic things on the program for you this morning. We've got songs and games and crafts and all sorts of fun things for you to look at and for you to do. Have an awesome time, and I'll see you at the end of the session. Bye!
I'm Katie, and I am so happy to have church with you right now. Let's think together about playing outside, running, jumping, enjoying the sunshine. But what would you do if you wanted to play outside and there was rain, thunder, lightning, and howling wind? What a letdown. I'm thankful I can trust Jesus, even when I feel let down. And our point is all about that. Every day, I can trust Jesus. Now say it with me. Come on. Every day, I can trust Jesus. Great job. Now it's time for our everyday song that talks about that. Stand up so you can sing and dance along.
Every day I'll choose Jesus, I will follow you. 'Cause there's a world outside that can't seem to make up its mind. It's saying this and that, that and this, everything's changing all the time. You are the light, the truth, the way. So I'll say, hey, every day I'll choose Jesus, I will follow you. Let everything I do honor you every day. I'll trust and obey every word you say, 'cause I know that you love me. I'm following your way every single day. I wanna be who you want me to be. You are the light, the truth, the way. So I'll say, hey, every day I'll choose Jesus, I will follow you. Let everything I do honor you every day. Every day I'll choose Jesus, I will follow you. Let everything I do honor you every day. Every day I can
trust you, Jesus.
Every day I choose
to honor you.
Every day I can
reflect you to others.
Every day I am
who you say I am.
You are the light, the truth, the way. And I'll follow you every day. I'll say, hey, every day I'll choose Jesus, I will follow you. Let everything I do honor you every day. Every day I'll choose Jesus, I will follow you. Let everything I do honor you every day. Hey, every day I choose Jesus, I will follow you. Hey, every day I'll choose Jesus, I will follow you. Hey, every day I'll choose Jesus, I will follow you. Hey, every day I'll choose Jesus, I will follow you.
Hey everyone, my name is Cheyenne and we're so excited you're joining us today. Today we're talking about the story of Elisha raising the Shunammite woman's son from the dead. This is a crazy story in which the Shunammite woman got her hopes up about having a son and ended up feeling completely let down when her son died. Many of us have experienced letdowns in our life, but it's important not to let those consume us to the point where we lose trust in Jesus. That's why today we're talking about how we can trust Jesus every day. So say this after me: every day, I can trust Jesus. We're gonna start things off by singing a song together, so go ahead and stand up and sing this out with us as loud as you can.
You're not a figment of my imagination, You're not a fairy tale, you're not make-believe. You came from heaven to be the friend that I can always count on, that I can always count on. Hear me shout it out. Jesus is better than any superhero. Jesus is my best friend. Whoa, whoa. Jesus is better than any superhero. Jesus is my best friend. Whoa, whoa. You are the hero. You are the good guy. You are the savior. And I know that you're always gonna be there. Yeah, you're always gonna be there. When I'm in danger, when I'm in trouble, when I'm surrounded, well, I know that it's you that I can count on, that I can always count on. Hear me shout it out. Jesus is better than any superhero. Jesus is my best friend. Whoa, whoa. Jesus is better than any superhero. Jesus is my best friend. Whoa, whoa.
Stronger than Superman, faster than the Flash, bigger than the Hawkman. Jesus, what a friend. Stronger than Superman, faster than the Flash, bigger than the Hawkman. Jesus, what a friend. Stronger than Superman, faster than the Flash, bigger than the Hawkman. Jesus, what a friend. Stronger than Superman, faster than the Flash, bigger than the Hawkman. Jesus, what a friend. Stronger than Superman, faster than the Flash, bigger than the Hawkman. Jesus, what a friend.
na 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 eh, na 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 eh, na 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 eh, na 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 na.
You guys sounded so good. Thank you for singing along with us. Now we're going to take some time to watch a Bible story together. Like I said earlier, today's story is about Elisha and the Shunammite woman. Let's check it out.
One day, Elisha made his way to a town called Shunem. There was a woman in Shunem who had a lot of money. Anytime Elisha would pass through Shunem, this woman insisted that he come and eat at her and her husband's house. She loved having Elisha over for meals. Elisha would pass through her town so much that eventually she said to her husband, "You know what? We should build a room for Elisha on top of our house. We could put a bed, a table, a chair, and a lamp in it for him. That way he has somewhere to stay when he's passing through." So that's exactly what they did. Elisha was so grateful that one day he had his servant named Gehazi go get the woman and bring her to Elisha's room. Once she got there, Elisha had his servant Gehazi say, "You went through all this trouble for us. What can I do for you?" The woman didn't say anything that Elisha could do for her. So Elisha asked Gehazi what he thought they should do. Gehazi answered saying, "Well, she doesn't have any kids and her husband is pretty old." That's it, Elisha thought. Then he told Gehazi to go tell the woman that by this time next year, she would have a son. The woman was in disbelief. "Don't lie to me," she said, but Elisha wasn't lying. Within the next year, she had a little baby boy. After that, many years had passed, and the boy grew up. One day, the boy went out to his father, who was working in the fields, and he started complaining that his head was hurting. So, the father told one of his servants to pick the boy up and carry him to his mother. His mother held him until about noon, but then something terrible happened. The boy died. The mother was heartbroken, but she didn't show it. Instead, she took her son up to Elisha's room and laid him on Elisha's bed. Then she said to her husband, "Have one of the servants bring a donkey to me, so I can go to Elijah and come back." Her husband asked why she was going today, but instead of telling him that their son had just died, she replied with, "Everything's fine." Then she put a saddle on the donkey and her servant rode as fast as they could straight to Elisha. Elisha saw the woman coming from a long way off. So he said to Gehazi, "Hey look, there's the Shunammite woman. Run out to meet her and ask her if everything's okay with her, her husband, and her child." When Gehazi asked her, she answered, "Everything's fine." But her attitude changed when she finally got to Elisha. She fell down to the ground and grabbed his feet and cried. "Did I ask for a son? Didn't I tell you not to get my hopes up?" she said. Elisha, seeing the woman's great sadness, turned to Gehazi and told him to take his staff and go to the child as fast as he could. Once he got there, he should place the staff on the boy's face. So Gehazi ran and did exactly that. But the woman refused to leave Elisha's side. When Gehazi got to the boy and put the staff on his face, there was no sound or sign of life. So he went back and told Elijah that the child had not awakened. So Elisha came to the house and went up to his room where the woman had placed her son. He prayed to God and then he walked over to the child and laid on top of him. He stretched out his body over the boy, and when he did, the boy's body became warm. But he still didn't get up. Elisha stood up and walked back and forth. Then he stretched his body out over the boy again. Suddenly, the boy sneezed. Then he sneezed again and again. The boy sneezed 7 times and his eyes shot open. He was alive. Elisha brought the Shunammite woman back and told her to pick up her son. She fell at his feet with thankfulness. Then she picked up her son, who just moments ago had been dead, but was now very much alive. The end.
Our friend Pastor Cameron is going to be talking to us a little bit more about our story right now, so let's take a look.
Have you ever really gotten your hopes up about something only to be completely let down? Like when you're young and you get a balloon and you're just so excited to have that balloon, but then out of nowhere, it pops. Talk about a letdown. Or maybe you've been looking forward to this new movie for so long and then it finally comes out and it's just terrible. It's not even a good movie. Let down. Or maybe you really wanted something for your birthday, so you keep hinting at it more and more as your birthday gets closer. Then your birthday finally comes, and you see a beautifully wrapped present that seems to be the size of that thing that you've been wanting. So you tear into the wrapping paper, so excited, and it's just a pair of socks. Wool socks. Socks? That is what we would call a letdown. You had your hopes up really high, and ultimately, you were completely let down. Nobody likes being let down. In the story of Elisha and the Shunammite woman's son, the Shunammite woman was completely let down. When Elisha told her that she would have a son, the first thing she did was convey that she did not want to get her hopes up. She said, no way, don't you lie to me. But sure enough, a year later she had a son and her hopes were finally realized. But it didn't last long. As she held her dying son in her arms, she was crushed. She was totally and completely let down. Some of us are in a similar position as the Shunammite woman. We got our hopes up. Things were going so well. And all of a sudden, we got let down. Maybe you lost a family member too. Maybe your parents got a divorce. Maybe you needed healing and you didn't get it. Whatever it may be, you feel like God let you down. You see, if the Shunammite woman had stayed focused on her son that had died and why it had happened, she never would have experienced such an amazing miracle. Was she sad? Yes, and that's okay. But she didn't keep her focus there. Instead, she shifted her focus to the man of God, Elisha. She had been let down, but she had a new hope that Elisha would be able to raise her son back to life. We have to do what the Shunammite woman did and stop focusing on the thing that let us down and shift our focus to our new hope, Jesus. I know it's hard sometimes to get past that thing that let you down, but like our verse said, never give up. Ask God to help you trust Him, and He will. If we put our trust and our hope in Jesus, it will all be worth it. Even when things let us down, we can still trust Jesus every day.
Most of us have felt let down at one point or another. We got our hopes up and ultimately things didn't work out. But like Pastor Cameron talked about, in those times when we get let down, it's important not to focus on the problem, but to shift our focus to Jesus. I would encourage you to take time with your parents or small group leader to talk about a time when you felt let down by God. There may not always be an answer as to why something happened, but if we shift our focus to Jesus, we can trust that He will help us through it. Remember, every day we can trust Jesus. That's it for this week. Thank you so much for joining us, and we'll see you next time.
We've already learned a lot, and now we get to learn something else, a Bible verse. I'll say it first. Psalm 31:14. I trust in you, Lord. I say, you are my God, you are my God, you are my God. Now I'll say little parts, and you can repeat them after me. You ready? Okay. Psalm 31:14. I trust in you, Lord. I say, you are my God, you are my God, you are my God. You did an amazing job. That verse reminds us that God is our God, and we can trust Him no matter how we feel. I had a great time having church with you. I'm going to leave you with some questions to talk about with your family. When they pop up on the screen, just pause the video and have a little chat. See you later.
everyone, it's Anna here, and today we're going to be doing some straw painting. So what you're going to need is you're going to need some paper. Make sure it's quite thick as well. If you don't have thick paper, make sure you use several layers so it doesn't bleed through onto the table. You're going to need a straw. So we only have metal straws at the moment, but a plastic straw will also work. You're going to need something to mix your paints with. In this case, we got like a stick. And then you're going to need at least 2 paint colors. I've chosen blue and purple. And then you're going to need some plastic containers to hold your paint. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to put 1 paint in each container. And then we're going to add some water to them. So now that we've added water to our paints, you should see that they'd be a consistency like this. So it should be very runny. Now what you're going to need is you're going to need 2 paintbrushes, 1 for each color, and you're going to take your water and you're going to dab it on into the middle of the page in a very big splash. And we're going to do the same with the other color. And we're going to put the 2 colors right next to each other. And then what we're going to do is we're going to take our straw and just blow the paint in different directions. And you should be getting cool little patterns like that. So now that I'm out of breath, we've made a really cool shape with our watercolors here, and now we're going to let it dry, and then we're going to do the next thing of the decoration on it. So you can either leave it as it is, but I'm going to go 1 step further and we're going to draw like a really cool animal on it. So in this case, since I've done blue and purple, I'm going to draw a nice big fish on this. So now that our painting has dried, we now can draw on it. So since I've got some pretty dark colors here, I'm going to use a black pen, but feel free to use any color that you want depending on what paints you've used. So now I'm just going to start drawing my fish. So that's my fish now, guys, and that's my whole painting. I'd love to see what you guys can come up with. For example, if you do green, you could probably do a tree as well. But that's all from me for this week, guys. I hope you have an amazing week, and I'll see you later. Bye! Another fitness challenge this week. Now it's going to be building on a bit of one of our previous challenges. I hope you guys remember the balance challenge that we did, but this time we're going to take it up a level, and hopefully we're going to be doing some extra height as well, and that should add just an extra little spin on the previous balance challenge. Let me know how you guys go. I'd love to see some videos of you guys. So how to do it is the same as the last one, like so, and then keep your hand out for balance if you need it. And then very slowly go on your tiptoes and then bring yourself back down. So you gotta kind of do it like a push-up. And it's quite hard to balance when you're doing that. So I like to see how you guys manage, and I will see you next week. Bye.
Hey everybody, hope you had an awesome session today, and we'll see you next week. See you later, bye.
Bye.